All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. It is Revenge of the Fifth Day, and it's Sunday for me. For some other people, it's the future, and it's crazy. Yeah, I made a little Palpicam for everybody here too, so I hope that you can see that. And yeah, so let me go down the list here. We got a whole bunch of people hanging out. We got Yova, we got Alex, we got TK, we got Al, who I can only say Al because I can barely ever pronounce his name. And we got Yova, Dale, TK, I think I already said that. Who else? LR's hanging, Alec, Stewart's in the house, and I think that's it. Oh yeah, Abigail was here earlier and how rude. I'm not sure if they're still here right now. But yeah, welcome to the stream. It's so fun to be doing this. And yeah, JXC, what's up, dude? Yeah, yesterday's dad duty was fun. It was a good time. Sometimes duty calls. And what was I gonna say? But yeah, it's been a good weekend. I've been watching a lot of MCU films, just kind of like being around the house, getting stuff done, and getting ready for this stream. And I rewatched Revenge of the Revenge of the Sith, and I rewatched sorry guys, I'm coughing. And I rewatched Return of the Jedi just to get some good old Palpy in me. And I have to say, I just am super pumped now before the countdown was going on. Alec was talking about comics, and the new Darth Maul comic apparently has some Palpatine stuff in it, so I will be immediately reading that after this stream. So yeah, welcome. It's so good to see you guys all hanging out. And I have to say, has everybody seen Endgame? Are we all, oh yeah, we're going to talk about that, Alex, for sure. Has everybody seen Endgame? Are we all good? I just feel like there's so much that could happen in this chat to talk about. But if Endgame's off the table, I'll still wait. Revenge of the Sand. Oh, this is from the Clone Wars series. Gotcha. Or no, Son of Dathomir. Isn't that a book? I don't even know. I'm confused. Either way, I'm going to be checking that out because I have just like an archive of download books that I have. I have like so much Star Wars content that I need to read. And I just finished reading Master and Apprentice, and now I'm reading it again for my second time. And I'm super pumped. Like, this is one of the best books I've read, period, out of everything that I've read. That's including some of the EU that I love. You know, it's just perfectly what I want for Star Wars. It's all the philosophy stuff that I'm obsessed with, you know? But, yeah, it's just so goddamn good. I can't wait to write a video on that for a review. It's gonna be interesting, though, trying to figure out how to make a book review without visuals. I haven't really done a full book review before, but I have a lot to say. Oh, no worries, Stuart. Hopefully by the time the video drops, you will be done with it. I did it on Audible. So I listened to it at like 1.25 speed, so it didn't take as long. But it was really, really goddamn good. Really good. Yeah, I tend to like kind of fall asleep sometimes when I'm reading books. Like if I'm like leaning back in a chair relaxing, my body's just like, just go to sleep. That's what happens when you become a parent. Like you kind of lean back at 45 degrees and then that's it. You're like a China doll. Your eyes close. Thomas, that would be hilarious. I would love to do something like that where I can get a group of people just hanging out in the live stream. The only thing I'm worried about is bandwidth. Like even the streams that I do myself sometimes, just because of where I'm located and the kind of internet provider that I'm currently using, and just a bunch of variables with my internet connection go into wonky streams sometimes. So the goal is to use some of this break that I'm taking over the next Noob Master 69. Amazing. Thanks so much, Al. Now I can call you Noob Master 69, but also see Al there. Also, I'm a little sick. Sorry, guys. So I got to cough for a second. Oof, felt good. So yeah, I would love to do that though. It's on my goal. It's on my list of goals to like kind of do some animations for the streams to make these things a little more fun to watch, because you know it's cool looking at the Palpy cam, right? You've seen all that stuff, but I want to make something like maybe a pork popping up, like little alerts for if you guys do a super chat, little alerts if you guys do if somebody subs, or like, you know, just future cool things that could make it fun to interact in the stream, not only in the chat but just with everything. So yeah, a lot of things to accomplish over the next 2 weeks, in my opinion, for this page, for this ad chat. Oh wow, so Endgame surpassed Titanic, and so it has to beat Avatar. Stuart, that image of Rise of the Skywalker, the art of, or whatever the concept book, it's really good. I think what's really crazy about it is it reminds me of, you know, the thumbnail that I had a couple of weeks ago for one of my videos. It had similar imagery, except they were holding lightsabers. They weren't clashing. And there's this artist who I put there, Cam, and he's the one that was kind enough to let me use his imagery, and it's really just like his imagery, you know. It's unbelievable. And I think there's a lot to that image that I think about in terms of like, could it be a sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Concept reference for a Force bond moment that they have while he's in the helmet and while she's doing something, and like they are seeing the other person's location. So you know what I mean? So like maybe she's in the peaceful desert and Kylo's on Mustafar. Like maybe that's really happening, right? And in the Force bonds now, it's like mixed up and it's physical, like things can actually hit because now they've touched hands. Their bond is more than just mere looking at each other. So it's really, really making my head spin. So I have this sort of script that I hopefully will be done with today, so that way that can just go out next week. Like I want to schedule it so you guys can have something to watch while I'm out of here, just doing a breather and working on stuff. And yeah, it's just gonna be. I feel like it raises a lot of questions about the Reylo stuff, about the Bendemption stuff, and you know, a lot of things that I've already believed in seem to be happening before my eyes, I guess. And also, I hope you guys really enjoyed that really silly skit that I did last week, or a couple days ago. I don't even know what day it is. What is it? Sunday? Yeah. The Gary skit. I'll probably be doing one of those like once a month because they're easy to do and hilarious. So I love that stuff. Just like filming a toy. And Alex, yeah, I agree with you. It just screams Reylo to me. It screams their connection. The bond. Avatar is shaking. So we will love Tross 9000. I'll take it. I know. Isn't that line in Endgame amazing? And I like the story behind it that finally got revealed. Where, what's it called? Where Robert Downey Jr. kind of brought it from his real life into the script. So, and it's interesting that it is really 3,000 minutes total for all of the MCU films so far. That's pretty wild. That's what it all equals, 3,000. So Oh, I don't know, Stuart. Maybe I'm using a different computer today. Could just be some lag in the stream or something. It's pretty typical for some reason recently with my new setup. The streams have been a little bit delayed, but it's okay. I will try to get to each question as they come through. So TK says you have a stormtrooper toy. Nice. I have like, let's see. I'm gonna look behind me for a second. Currently behind me, I think I have like 15 Black Series Stormtrooper toys. So, oh yeah, and Dale, yeah, as Dale says, let's not do any spoilers, since I guess not everybody's seen it. But what's crazy to me too, and it's a little bit sad, is like it's funny watching all of the MCU films now. This is what I've been doing ever since I watched Endgame. I've been kind of just like, wow, I really want to watch everything that the MCU put out again. And like I already kind of did that over the last month, but I was like, I just want to do it like rapid fire. Like at night, just watch 2 movies, like if I can, or like if I pass out, watch the other one the next night. And there was some funny stuff that I noticed, but I do think overall, what a solid franchise. Even when I rewatched the Thor stuff, like the first one, I was like, it still didn't really make me super interested in it. But I did like the Dark World a little bit more. And then, of course, I've always said that I really like Ragnarok. But, I really do, I really do think the catalog is good. Even like Ant-Man and the Wasp, since it's like kind of like, I don't know. It's like, actually, I haven't seen Captain Marvel either, but Ant-Man and the Wasp is kind of like the diet MCU film, and to me, it's like doesn't seem as much going on in it, like as important to me. Even that was still fun. And oh yeah, New Master 69. Yeah, it definitely made me feel emotional when I watched the film. I definitely shed a tear a few times. So, you're not alone. As Kylo says to Rey in the hut. Raylo. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. You know what's cool too? I don't know if you guys saw this, but there's going to be a Willow show coming to Disney Plus. So to me, that is bonkers. It's insane. Warwick Davis is still alive, so if he's reprising his role, if that's exactly what they're going for, I'm so down. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen Willow, and I do have a script on the movie that I just never did anything for, because I was like, I don't think anybody's going to watch this, but now maybe people might. I don't know. I should have maybe just finished it anyways. But it's a super funny, weird 80s film. Yeah, Warwick Davis. Yova. Ray and Ben are gonna bang. Maybe. I don't think here. Stuart, have I thought about doing a Marvel channel? No, I've never actually thought about doing it, to be honest. It'd be cool though to do a couple videos here and there. If the channel keeps growing, which is the goal and the hope, I would love to keep adding more stuff into it. And I kind of already am going to be doing some annual, like, Christmas kind of things and Halloween, and they don't necessarily have to be catered to Star Wars now, in my opinion, because I did a review of The Thing. So, in my opinion, I think I'll probably be adding a lot more to the channel. Might not be MCU, but we'll see what happens. There's definitely going to be a lot of stuff to cover come next year anyways with The Mandalorian. And one of my biggest goals is to have it like a live stream right after each episode, if they're doing it weekly or something like that. And hopefully it's not at like a time that's like obscene, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll just have to do it some random day during the week. Yeah, Robin. Agreed. I think that the art book cover is definitely pretty much revealing the connection to me in my mind. Oh yeah, Stuart, totally understand. I think you know me. I'm one of those guys that that enjoys feedback, and even if it's from people just like aimlessly being like, "Hey, your audio sounds like this or that," it's all positive in my book. You know, even if somebody's like, "You ever thought about doing this?" Question's never a bad thing to ask. So, but yeah, the channel. The answer is, I bet the channel will be evolving. I mean, remember Gary? He was never here before. Now he's gonna be here forever. This little toy doing things. You know what I thought was interesting about the cover too is that if you rotate it so that they're facing each other and it's not a reflection, it kind of looks like where their swords cross, there's like emperor robes, and it kind of looked like that to me in my opinion. And maybe that's just my fan head just going way too deep into what I'm seeing. So Dale says, Star Wars has never really established time jumps very well in the movies, but I think it'd be cool if they did some a year from TLJ, a few years, and then 5 to 10 years. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. There's always so many debates around the timing of things, and in regards to even the OT, like how much time did Luke train on Dagobah? How much time did it take for Han to navigate the asteroid field? Like, what is the time? And you can't really pinpoint it. So it would be interesting to see The Rise of Skywalker implement some sort of like MCU-ish kind of title card saying like, this is how much time has passed or something. But that could be a little off-brand, I'm not sure. I bet they'll do it though in the forthcoming trilogies, because they did do title cards with Rogue One, so that's something that I think will help with weird Star Wars time jumps in the future. JX with the super chat, wow, thanks so much, dude. That's I really appreciate the channel support, man. So you wrote, you ever been in a Turkish prison? Hopefully never. I don't ever want to be in a Turkish prison, and hopefully the $2 will be enough of a barter for me to get out of it. That's what I hope. But I really appreciate that, man. That's hilarious. Thanks so much for the super chat. JXE. I think it'd be too soon after Endgame. Oh, that must be in response to something else. Oh, interesting, Alex. So the planet Ben Solo is on in the trailers totally Dathomir, the home of Mother Talzin, also a dark side oasis. Very interesting. Well, I know that we've all talked about the Oracle in this chat, and one thing I'm trying to get my head around is like how that's gonna factor into stuff. Like, I wonder who's going to see the Oracle. It'd be very interesting if it was both Kylo and Rey. But I think from what I remember hearing is that it's just one of them. Very interesting. So I'm definitely going to have to check out Son of Dathomir after this. Phasma and Husk will be next. Yeah, who thinks Phasma's going to be coming back into this somehow, like in some arbitrary way? Like, do you think JJ's gonna be like, nah, she's not dead? Like, she's gonna have like a new weird helmet. It'd be pretty interesting. So what was I gonna say? Oh, JXE, interesting. You've explained. Well, I do think Star Wars logic doesn't really follow any rhyme or reason most of the time. So she could be back. She could have just like, she does have her armor on for the most part, besides just her face. Surviving a fall, questionable, but people have survived insane things in Star Wars that make zero sense. And they've just come back. So it's not impossible that she will be back. But I'd be curious to see your explanation. Everyone in Star Wars is kind of like Kenny. Actually, I have to agree with you. No one's ever really gone. I'm surprised, like, I'm sure there's, like, gotta be a video meme out there now where somebody's just saying that over and over again, or, like, just showing people, like, come back to life in Star Wars. Oh, the other thing I did recently is, I rewatched the Jedi, I think it was called, the documentary, I can't remember what it's called for The Last Jedi, but it's, like, The Jedi and Me or something like that. What a freaking good documentary. So interesting to see, like, the behind the scenes of that movie. Just because it looks like Rian Johnson is so cool, calm, and collected, right? And then there's just one moment where he's, like, freaking out. It's insane. And also, it's crazy seeing all the stuff that went into Canto Bight. Like, all the stuff in the documentary to me was more interesting. Like, Canto Bight stuff is more interesting in the documentary than it was in the movie to me. But yeah, I don't know. Very good documentary. The director in The Jedi. Oh, JXC, nice. I'll have to check that out. Red Letter Media. I always watch like Mr. Plinkett and all that stuff. Really funny stuff. Dude Master thinks Rey and Poe will be together. Well, you never know. We're all rooting hard, right, for Kylo and Rey, and people did that for 2 movies with Luke and Leia, and then they did the Han Solo. So who knows what they'll do. My gut instinct says Bendemption and the 2 of them sort of united in some way. What would be interesting, and I've had this other kind of thought in my head, is that what if the movie did end in a way where, like, they aren't together, and she doesn't know if he's alive, she doesn't know if Kylo's alive or dead, but she knows that Ben Solo is what survived, and what the movie kind of ends off with is a Force bond, but instead of him appearing, it's just his voice just saying Rey. Something like that. Something interesting. Be very Star Warsy to me. Yeah, that's true, Stuart. He did say that. He did officially say that. John Boyega confirmed. I will say, at the end of the day, am I upset that Phasma didn't get more to do? A little. I do wish that there was a little bit more to Phasma, but at least they did make the Phasma book, because that was a great read. And if anybody is sort of like, oh man, I wish that there was like more that I could know about this character, I highly suggest you read Phasma. It's a really funky novel. It's really Mad Maxy. Alex, what would I think of Leia adopting Rey? I wouldn't think that'd be weird at all, to be honest. I often think that part of the Skywalker titling going on is her, like, sort of adopting the name herself in a sense. Like, there's so many ways to take what that means. And then there's the other part of the hero's journey where there's a whole part of resurrection, and if this truly is the last installment of the Skywalker saga, I feel like there'd be only one person in the lineage where resurrection would come into play in some sort of logical narrative sense, and it would have to be Anakin in my head. But I have no idea how that would work, because I'm not a movie maker. So it'd have to be really, really well done. But there is a resurrection part in the hero's journey. So if this truly is still the Skywalker saga, right? You know, beyond Ben. If it's like still Luke, Leia, and Anakin, and Palpatine, and that's the struggle still going on and we never even knew, it'd be interesting if somehow Anakin played a role in this. So, we do know that there's going to be the helmet in a scene because they released... somebody talked about the behind the scenes footage that they saw where like Ben Solo's in a white room where he's staring at the helmet. So, but yeah, Yova says Ben Solo rises. I also do think that's part of it, 100%. New Master asks, what is your favorite Star Wars book, comic, novel? Mine would be the Aftermath trilogy. I would have to say my favorite book currently is Master and Apprentice. My favorite comic, that's way too hard. Oh man. Yeah, I would say if like out of like the reading material, for right now, it truly I've never been more impressed with a book than Master and Apprentice. Straight up. I know it's new, but it has nothing to do with it being new. I read a lot of older books recently on Audible because I get a credit a month, so why not? Stewart says, OT ended up with a good ending, PT ended with a bad guy ending. I think the ST will end with both. Yeah, that'd be very interesting. That'd be like a sort of, what's the word? Meta balance within the film itself. I did have an interesting observation though watching Revenge of the Sith, and hey, what's up, George? Welcome to the chat, dude. Everybody say, hey, George. Welcome, happy Sunday, and may the Force be with you. Nice to see you in here, dude. So, I think now, looking at each trilogy, it makes sense that Palpatine would be back as an influence in this, because he was the main influence in Revenge of the Sith. He was the main, he always is the overarching main influence, right? So pushing his own, chess pieces around on the board. But it's heaviest in each third act of each trilogy. So it's funny to me seeing a lot of people gripe about them being like, they have no more ideas. They're going back to the drawing board and remaking everything, and this is retconning this and that. And I'm like, no, this is just the third part of a series, and each one happens to revolve around some sort of Darth Sidious Palpatine influence going up. So yeah, new Master and Apprentice, it's so good. So yeah, and the way I think Palpatine will be involved, since it's Revenge of the Fifth, Revenge of the Fifth Day, I kind of feel like it will be like some kind of spirit. Like, I haven't read the Alec thing, so we're like, that's the son of Dathomir, so I'm not exactly sure what that theory is yet. But like, I kind of just feel like he's probably just like some sort of like so strong of an energy left over after death that he's harnessed himself Like somehow his essence is contained, and like sure we see him screaming down the whole shaft, ah! And then we're probably gonna like imagine if instead of seeing a flashback with like Rey and Ben or something back to their past, we see a flashback back to Snoke's past, and then we see Palpatine sort of being like, you will do this or something like that, or you know, like who knows, like there's so much crazy crap now that can happen, and that will make some people that don't like The Last Jedi maybe retroactively go like, oh, now that I can see the whole picture, now all this stuff makes sense to me. So who knows. And I totally agree with you, Yova. Yeah, retconning 889 is ridiculous. Like, it's not going to happen, and people believing it is absurd. At least that's just my opinion. You know, I don't think it's happening. I think there are ideas that JJ wanted to bring back. Like, I noticed the little skiff is, I feel like the skiff, like it's straight out of the art book for The Force Awakens. And I was like, oh, wow, that's the thing that's in the trailer. So you definitely did truly go back to the Force Awakens art book. And then you have the picture of like Rey swimming through the Death Star wreckage on a planet. So it's going to be pretty cool. Oh, Robin Stanton. Yeah, I don't think he's a misdirect. I just don't think Palpatine... I would be hard-pressed to think that Palpatine is going to be physically in the movie. Like his body. Like, I do have to check out Alex' book thing here about the Dragon Ball Z Super thing that he's talking about. But just based on some stuff that I do know, I just don't see him coming back physically. I do align more with Vincent Vendetta's idea of more of a Momin-esque force possession sort of thing, and to me, that makes a little more sense. But then again, you know, Darth Maul survived being cut in half, and he came back, and then he was in the end of Solo, so people were like, what the hell, right? Even though I knew that all that history with Maul made sense to me, so seeing him at the end of Solo was okay. It didn't throw me out of left field. So, who knows? I could be dead wrong, and he's literally somehow walking around. But we just have to wait and see. Honestly, we really have to wait and see the full trailer. Yeah, he was definitely on set. I remember, so that was one of the things I posted on Reddit that I had to take down. That Ian McDiarmid was on set being filmed for the new movie. And that was the one thing that was not supposed to get out, period, the end. And it did, so that's why I had to immediately delete it. So I think only like 1,000 people in the world saw it. Thank God, or else it would have probably been a big stink for them. Oh, that's too bad, George. I actually really like the idea of like the wreckage of a Death Star, because it just kind of goes back to the original idea set forth with the tone of the trilogy, which is I was rewatching, or I was rereading The Art of The Force Awakens, and when they made this film, they wanted the films to kind of be like a graveyard of the prequel trilogy. You know, Alex, yeah, that was me a couple months ago. People were like, yo, man, your reputation's on the line if this isn't true. And then all of a sudden he's laughing in the trailer, and I couldn't help but laugh to myself. It was pretty wild, but I was like, oh my God. But the reason I guess I like the Death Star thing is like the whole intent was to make the mentors be the original trilogy characters that we love. Luke, Han, and Leia be like the Obi-Wan Kenobis of this trilogy for different characters, right? And then in regards to relics of the past, they kind of wanted Jakku to be like this graveyard of the old films. So, and they also wanted the whole series of movies to kind of have that vibe. Oh, I'm gonna skip this song. And I just kind of feel like that's more of that graveyard-esque thing going on, where like dealing with the sins of the father and all that kind of stuff, but it's just group dealing with the sins of the past still that have yet to be fully wrapped up. So that's why I kind of am okay with it and dig it. And I just really do like the idea of there being an influence from Palpatine still going on throughout the whole trilogy here. And to find out how it works and why and how he orchestrated whatever it is that's going on or whatever it is that happened, I'm super curious. And that's also JJ for you. He's crazy with like making me care, you know? Oh yeah, Dale. I can. I can share that. I mean, at this point, it doesn't even matter. It's like basically people have already sort of obtusely talked about it. And yeah, I just want to say, Yova, I think the next Tross trailer will better add Raylo or hint of Raylo. Well, I think even the Art of book already has that in there, but I wouldn't get too hung up on worrying about what the trailer like needs to show us. I would just get focused on what it is showing us, because I think we all know that there's still going to be a connection, no matter what. It's so Christina B goes, what if Rey is impregnated by Palpatine so he can have a new body? Then it would make a whole nature versus nurture argument in bed. Well, it's an interesting theory. I think that might be sort of like an analog to Shmi if that happened. And I don't hate it. It would just be a little out of left field for me personally, but who knows? There is that prophecy in Master and Apprentice that I don't want to spoil for other people, like a whole bunch of mentions of random prophecies, and there is something about this dark side giving birth to light. Oh, unfortunately, over the link that I had, it was deleted from Reddit, so there is no more link. And yeah, I would definitely love a Solo trilogy. I'm kind of bummed out that people, like, it's funny. People were like, let's boycott this movie, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we went to go see it. It's pretty good. And the people are seeing it on streaming now and saying it's pretty good. And the overall consensus is it's pretty good. So I think it deserved a little more. I think it deserves a lot more love. And I would totally watch... I would totally watch 2 other Solo movies. But the thing is, too, it would have to obviously turn into like the only thing after that would be the villain would be Maul and Kira against like Solo and whatever the heck else, you know? Yeah, New Master. I'm just going back up the chat here, talking about the Mortis arc. Yeah, in a lot of ways, I figured that was playing into a lot of what's going on in this trilogy too, because there's so much imagery that looks like the father, son, and daughter from that few episodes, you know? And to me, like, Luke was in the position of the father, and then the 2 of them are in the hut, and they're in the position of the son and daughter, just like on the mural. And I'm like, wow, they're really doing this heavy-handed right now. And like, I remember reading about this, and maybe I watched a video on this, that Rian Johnson was asking Story Group, and also I think he talked to Dave Filoni about what he should get into about, you know, figuring out how far he can go with the lore and everything. And he said, watch the Mortis arc, like that's as far as we've gone, or something like that. So maybe that's where you got a lot of that imagery from too. So yeah, Solo was great. I like Solo. Solo was super fun. But basically, so here were the things I heard that have pretty much been confirmed One of them was that the helmet was going to be back 100%, that it was put back together. And it was like, the guy didn't say that it was like kyber crystal or something, but it's some kind of crystal. We've all seen it. And then those images leaked. The other thing is we've seen a picture of Rey, right? And she's in the forest, and then JJ just confirmed that's in the beginning of the film. Well, she's with Leia in the beginning of the film, and there is a bit of training going on. What that means is anybody's guess, but that was all that this guy told me. And let's see, the other thing was that Ian McDiarmid was on set being filmed as Emperor Palpatine in some sort of role. Although he did say that I believe he might have been in his white robes. So there might be like two instances of different. Yeah, TK, I am a little sick. Definitely have a little bit of sick going on. And he might be in his like white robes, I guess, like he was to Ezra. So I'm wondering if they're going to go between two different sort of thing going on, you know, like the Palpatine look that we know, and then like the Rebels thing they showed us. So, and then there is going to be a moment where like Rey's searching for Kylo, like he's apparently missing. And then what else? It was like, it's so long ago I can't remember like everything that I put. Trying to think. There's like one other thing. Oh, well, I mean, I guess we all heard it in the trailer. Luke is a Force ghost in this film. Cameo, as we have all heard and all speculated. But his cameo has weight. So, I'll put it that way. There's a lot of weight. A shocking little thing happens. So, I'll leave that to myself. I'll leave that bit to myself. in regards of like Leia training Rey, it is sort of gonna be, it's not gonna be like her doing Yoda stuff with Rey. I think there's gonna be some mindfulness stuff going on. So, but yeah, that's about it. And then I don't know anything about what's his name, you know, Hayden Christensen. I don't know if he's back or not. I've heard nothing about Matt Smith, and it wouldn't surprise me. Tim Brewer. Let's hope this stream is objectively good. I am objectively perfect, so it will be, as you said, objectively good. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped, Alex. I mean, I think it's gonna be a really good film. I do hope it's way over 2 hours and 15 minutes. I know that's like the JJ runtime. Stuart, and I also want to say, yeah, I have noticed their creative similarities for sure, which is why I'm surprised people got so weirded out by his take on the Force. It is so aligned with everything we've pretty much seen on screen. It's just that there were a couple groups of people that still wanted to see. I mean, to me, it all has to do with Luke, without a doubt. I think if Luke did not die in The Last Jedi, there would be zero of this nonsense going on. Zero. I really do think that too. I think there would still be the random videos here and there. And, oh, new master has to go. Well, thanks for hanging out, man. I really appreciate it. And I thank you for changing your name so that way I can pronounce it now in the stream. And everybody say happy Sunday to New Master, although I believe he's in the future, as he said earlier. And may the Force be with you. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that, Yova. That'd be interesting. That'd be really cool if they were some Force ghosts, because they could be all talking to each other. They could be the ones being like, you know, we passed on all that we know. They could be talking amongst themselves after this scene with Luke. You know, could be. Oh, wow, interesting. I can't go that deep into that speculation, just because that'd be a lot of character building to get to that. I think for there to be a Force child. The only person I remember ever actually bringing up the Force child was Mike Zero, I think. But it doesn't mean it's not possible. It would just be very difficult to convince me that that's what's happening. To me, what I think they would like end up as sort of like not at odds anymore. I think that Ben would fully have there would be full redemption in Ben. And I think sort of at that point is when they could establish the hint of like now they can become intertwined in that way. Because I don't know, I feel like to get to them having a child, maybe if it's like 2 years later, something like that, and they're on Octu together living there, and that's how it ends, and like that'd be very interesting actually, like a sort of coda. And why not? It is the final, if it is the final in the saga, that would be interesting if they were on Octu living there. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. It would have to be very well thought out for them to get to having a kid, in my mind, but I won't say it's impossible. But hopefully the people that did come up with the theory, I'm not sure if they have inside sources or not, but hopefully if that doesn't happen in the film, because I've seen people on Twitter saying if certain things don't happen in The Rise of Skywalker that are in the Reylo fandom, that they will like denounce the sequel trilogy. And I'm like, oof, that's not a good look. So we don't want to be doing that stuff either. The one other thing I do feel like might happen though is a significant death in this film. And I don't mean like Leia. I think somebody sort of out of left field. And I know they said that like, I think somebody said the main cast makes it out alive in this or something like that, but it could be the droids. It could be Lando. It could as well be the Falcon, you know? And I hope to hell that it's not Leia. So, I don't know. It would be interesting though if the way they end up using Leia in this is for one big profound reason. Oh, Alex, I'm with you. I mean, there's definitely an underlying tension between them that, in my opinion, is romantic. I just don't know how deep they're willing to go with it. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Let me just click on that real quick, and then I'll just save that into my future reads. Oh, interesting. That's a pretty good picture. Interesting. Very cool. Very neat picture. I like that. I want to make that a wallpaper. Very cool, Yova. Everybody should check out that picture. I mean, even if it's not I can't say it just looks like some fan art, but it's beautiful. Very cool stuff. Tim Brewer asks, do you expect John Williams' last score to be his best? I feel like this is going to be one of the hardest scores for him to accomplish because there's going to be the aspect of tying in 8 other films into this 9th installment, as well as adding new motifs, right? So what I hope for is something as good as The Last Jedi, because when it comes to the sequel trilogy, The Last Jedi has the best score to me compared to The Force Awakens. I think The Force Awakens was like a little fast-paced for John Williams, so he had to adapt and have more fast-paced things happening. There wasn't a lot of drawn-out moments with the music. It was just very like bam, 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 new part, couple of staccato trumpets here. So I hope this one is a little bit of a crossbreed between the two directors in the sense of pacing, so that way he can sort of get the ebb and flow of where he needs to go with the final installment. But it's going to be hard for me to think that this will be his best work. I think it'll be great work, but to me this is going to sound really, really strange. I think his best work musically happened in the prequel trilogy. And I think he's creating amazing motifs now still, with the stuff that I personally love, or my favorite, just my own opinion, are the scores from the prequel trilogy. Specifically, Anakin and Padme's theme, oh my god. Across the Stars is so good. If I had to have, like, my favorite theme, or themes out of the sequel so far, number 1 is Rey's. Very cool theme. I would say now I like Kylo's theme more now, I guess. It's more thought out. It's more drawn out. And the other thing too is Rise of the Resistance. Or no, is it Rise of the Resistance? I don't know if that's what the actual official name is. Oh, how's the little guy? I think he's good right now. I think he's eating his dinner while I'm streaming. My wife's out there cooking him up some like meatballs, I think, or something. So yeah, he's getting some good chow right now. I don't know. I just heard him out there squeaking. He's always making noises. Right after dinner too is when he has the most energy, so he just like kind of runs around like a maniac, and it's hilarious. Yeah, thanks for asking, dude. He's doing good. He's being a good little boy, and I can't wait till we get some wicked nice weather outside, so that way I can take him to the beach and we can chill. It's just been rainy and like gloomy out here, and I've been all stuffed up, so oof, not fun. March of the Resistance. That's the one. Oh, and the little one on the way. She is doing good. She is weighing right where she needs to be right now. And then, yeah, at Chat Jr. And my wife's feeling pretty good. She's been really tired recently, actually, again, which is pretty typical. It's up and down when you're pregnant, right? And people that do have kids in the chat, if you have kids, it's it's tough. It's really tough. And she's doing well, and we're on schedule for September, and I can't wait. It's gonna be insane. 2 kids at home. I might have to turn to like a full-time streamer. Who knows if I'll ever be able to edit videos again. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Little AT-AT minions running around. It's gonna be so funny. September 1st. Or is it, I think it's either the end of August or September 1st. Yeah, it's like one of those 2 days. Somewhere right there. No, Alex, I don't actually remember specifically that little bit. I'd have to actually play it back. But overall, the only theme I didn't really like in The Last Jedi, and this has nothing to do with the character, it's just so randomly that this has to do with a character that had a lot of contention. I didn't like Rose's theme much, and it just sounded a little too simple to me, but that was it. Oh, since we're talking about Star Wars scores, what do you want to Phil Williams? Oh, dude, well, from Jack Cano, because that's how I think AT-AT minions. um, I feel like Powell takes the cake, but then Powell is also given a reasonable amount of time to finish a score. I think Giacchino got, or Giacchino, I can't really remember how to say his name. I think he got like 3 to 4 weeks, which is insane. So I have no idea how much of his music is digital and how much of his music are live instrumentation. So, and for some reason, it doesn't distract or take away from my enjoyment of Rogue One at all. In fact, I do really think it's a strong score, but Solo was just so freaking good. So, I can't imagine anything less than something as good as that. So, but the other thing too is, who was the guy that was replaced by Giacchino? Not who was that composer? Can't remember that composer's name right now. Oh well, there was a really great composer also that was supposed to do Rogue One until all the reshoots happened, and then they lost that composer because of scheduling. You know, he was in line to do something new, some other film. She just couldn't go back and continue to work on a film. So it's too bad. I can't remember his name right now. And yeah, Alex, let me answer that one question. So LR says Emphas Nest theme is so good. Yeah, Emphas Nest theme is wicked good. It's like, wait, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, so it's in 5/8 or 5/4, I suppose. And it just got that. To me, it's very prequel-y, right, with the horns and trumpets, and it almost had a bit of Duel of the Fates to it. George, this is actually the band ULAS, and the song is called Something New. It's like a video game soundtrack. That'd be pretty cool, Alec, if we got some Duel of the Fates back into this last movie. I do wonder, though, like, there is, like, the idea that Palpatine's essence could go into somebody or into something. So if that happens, I mean, there could be, if that is sort of another way that they're resurrecting the idea of Palpatine, because, like, I don't want to, like, get attached to the idea that he's physically alive in any way, shape, or form. But if they do the Mammon thing, and he is in somebody's body as an essence using a lightsaber against other Force users, it would be freaking awesome. I would die. As long as he doesn't make Ian's faces in Revenge of the Sith. Those were really funny. We all, we could be honest about that. I thought that was pretty funny. It's almost like he's feeling like a nice cool breeze when he's making those faces in the battles. So oh yeah, Hans Zimmer would be pretty cool actually, because Hans Zimmer to me is finally doing, obviously Hans Zimmer is fantastic because he's so talented that he did The Lion King, right? So of course he can make amazing music, and even with Interstellar is one of my favorite scores of all time. I would love to see him take on Star Wars. It'd be incredible. So do I watch Jenny Nicholson? Yes, I do. I haven't watched a couple of her last uploads. She just uploaded something about Dumbo maybe a month ago. But yeah, she's funny. She makes really funny content. Oh yeah, I agree, Tim. That's what I'm saying. Like TLJ just has so much to remember, in my opinion, compared to The Force Awakens. So, and that's not to say The Force Awakens doesn't have anything good score-wise. I mean, it set up Kylo's theme and Rey and the Jedi steps, like that's awesome, right? And we got the Resistance theme and all that stuff. So it's good. It's really good. But I just liked how much deeper we dove into that in The Last Jedi. So I really hope the same thing is going on in Tross. Yeah, the Octu theme was like menacing in a little bit of a way too. That's what I like about it. I loved when I'm trying to think of the Jenny Nicholson episode that I watched that like made me like lose my mind. It might have been the one when like she was surrounded by porgs. Because that's what's so funny about her is like she doesn't worry, she doesn't stress about like lighting or all this stuff. Like she's well lit and everything, of course, but she just like that whole room is a prop, and that's what's so funny about it. Like she dresses up, has all this stuff around her, and gives her thoughts, and it's hilarious and amazing. There's nobody that does it that funny in my opinion in that way. So she's super funny. Love to check out that impression. Oh, that's too bad. You didn't like 2049? I really enjoyed that. I didn't get to see it in theaters though. But I also like I didn't I saw so many versions of the original Blade Runner that like just seeing this new one. Yo, what's up, Black Angus? Yeah, sure. Definitely, man. I think you DM'd me recently. I need to get back to you on that. I'll be taking a 2-week break from today on, but I will definitely, I think after that 2-week break, hit you up. But yeah, I really liked 2049. I do think it was really long, but yeah, for me it was wicked cool. I liked it. Oh wait, what is it? Generoso. Oh, you talking about you're watching The Impression? Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Oh, she threw a bedemption party? That's hilarious. This is gonna be the song that probably sounds the most Blade Runner out of this whole chat. I feel like, you know, there's so many things that kind of this day and age, like, are just black and white, kind of. Like, it's like a whole horde of people like it and a whole horde of people hate it. It's like down the middle. And it's funny to see that happening a lot more often with things, like, especially with Game of Thrones. So, I really have been enjoying this season. But then again, like, there have been, of course, other episodes I think that have been stronger episodes. But I don't know. I think what it really is a lot of people just kind of get pissed off when things are wrapping up. And then when it doesn't go like, when it doesn't like get life changing, kind of like, oh, it sucks. You know, like, because, you know, we watch stuff to kind of like learn stuff sometimes, or like learn some super cool truth about something, like super cool theory that'll blow our minds. And if we don't get some super cool theory that'll blow our minds, it sucks. And it's too bad. I've been liking it. I've been seeing some pretty much crazy shit online for the last couple episodes of that. And like, you know, with Star Wars and all that stuff, still a lot of hate going on after Peter Mayhew's unfortunate passing. A lot of vitriol still spewing in his name. It's too bad. Oh, I'm going to be doing probably just like 5 more minutes, guys, of streaming. I just realized it's 5:04 right now. And this will be my last stream only for about like 2 weeks. So if I'm feeling up to it, I might do one earlier. And this is just for me to kind of recharge my batteries after like a pretty solid year of like nonstop writing and creating on here. So I just want to take a little breather, do some stuff, you know, hang out with the fam, see some people, you know, go to the moon, become an astronaut, write a book, learn how to ride my bike, go swimming for the first time, you know, learn how to read. That'd be really cool. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, definitely will be returning soon with some good content, stuff for you guys to watch. The part 2 of Bendemption, as well as a bunch of other videos. So, oh wait, so JX's go? Tequila. That's a good reason to go, JXE. May the force be with you, man. And thanks so much for the super chat, dude. That means so much. Thanks so much for the channel support. Oh no, I'm sorry. I wasn't hate on Peter Mayhew. It was people using that as like some sort of like jump off point to be like, let's start throwing shade at Star Wars again. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that people are doing that. So, but yeah, I'll be taking a little break. There'll be like, I think 2 videos that you guys will see come up, and I have one scheduled right now, and I'm gonna try to get the other one finished. And yeah, and then I'll be back in action, making some videos with Gary, making some Bantha Poodoo stuff, making some more, you know, positive, healthy speculation, and as well as one big thing that I want to do, which is kind of like getting into a little more longer format videos if I can start writing them. So yeah, a lot of things I'd like to do on here. And then the other thing is making sure that these streams, yeah, that's exactly what it was, Alec. At least Ryan Johnson didn't ruin Peter Mayhew or something like that. It was like, who the heck thinks those things after somebody passes away? You have to have like a serious issue inside to like have that be your first thought. It's insane. I think it's really bizarre. Hate the movie all you want, but leave that kind of stuff in your head. But yeah, like I said, we'll be coming back in about 2 weeks after this stream, and yeah, it's gonna be great. So other than that, let me run down this chat here. I want to say goodbye for these 2 weeks to Alex, Stuart, we got Alec, TK, Yova, Robin, Tim, let's see, Stuart, LR, Yova, George. Who else am I missing here? Noob Games, Black Angus, I'm not sure if he's still hanging out. And JXE went to go get some tequila, which is awesome. I wish I had some tequila. And Alex, yeah, everybody. Oh, and SJS. But all I want to say is thank you guys so much for the past year so far. It's been so cool, like, seeing the channel grow and hanging out with you guys. It's really meant a lot. Oh, yeah, I blocked Sheev, Stuart. I was tired of that idiot. Too much. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, for hanging out. I'll be back in action 2 weeks from now, streaming, making funny stuff, and hopefully be done with that Bendemption Part 2 video, so that way you guys can see something really neat in 2 weeks. So may the force be with you. I hope that you guys have a great couple of weeks yourselves. I'll probably be on Twitter still, most likely, and I'll probably still be dropping in the Hello Greedo streams. So I'll see you there if you guys usually go to those. So may the force be with you, and as always, the ADAT chat is signing off.